Today on We Love It Outdoors, we're on our way to the wild west of Wyoming, where cattle and cowboys share the wide open range with the elusive antelope, and where I hope to get my first shot at a trophy pronghorn. I'm Dan Eigen, full-time guide and avid outdoorsman. These days, it's easy to get stuck inside in a virtual world. But the real world is outside.
Look at that awesome looking fish.
So I challenge you to put your instincts to work, making real memories with real people. Because we love it outdoors. The simple, rugged beauty of the eastern Wyoming prairie. This is one of those wonderful places where the old ways are still the best ways, and where cowboys and cowgirls still live and work at one with the land. This is also an outdoorsman's paradise where the deer and the antelope not only play, but thrive and provide some of the best big game hunting opportunities in North America. That's why the Mills Fleet Farm Ford F-150 is rolling west. We're on our way to the Bill Mankin Ranch outside Gillette, Wyoming for my first ever archery antelope hunt. As a northern Minnesota whitetail hunter, I'm used to taking close-in shots in thick cover from an elevated tree stand, which is completely different from the wide-open ground blind setups we'll be seeing in Wyoming. So before the trip, I stopped by Mills Fleet Farm Indoor Shooting and Archery Range to have Marty Olson set me up with the latest in bow technology.
I got 3 laid out here that we can try. We've got the Agenda 6, the Motive 6, and Motive 7. They're high-end bows, which will zip. So if you want to, we'll give it a couple shots.
In archery, even more so than in rifle or shotgun shooting, a proper fit is key to accuracy. From the correct draw length,
Seems a little short for it.
Maybe a little bit, huh?
to a properly aligned peep sight,
That's really close right there, yeah.
Really close?
Like really close.
and a comfortable, well-fit release. Quality equipment add-ons are also vital, including rock-solid arrow rests.
I recommend either a whisker biscuit or a fall away. So
I just would feel better, I think, with the whisker biscuit. You know,
Awesome.
I really would. So let's put that on there.
yeah.
And a fully adjustable sight.
Whether you leave it at your 30, but then it's just a simple turn this knob, it'll move down to your different yardages.
Nice.
Add the latest in carbon arrow technology and a deadly razor-sharp broadhead, and you're set.
It just gives me so much more confidence when you know you're working with somebody that knows the sport.
All that's left is time with your bow. Shooting, shooting, and more shooting. So the bear bow is dialed in, and we're on our way to meet my old friend Bruce Hudala and bear archery pro staff hunter Anita Williams at the Mankin Ranch, where the antelope and the old west way of life are waiting.
Yo! Look at that! Whoa! Fall down on the corner! Hey!
How are you guys doing?
Hey, Dan.
Yeah, great to see you.
Good to see you. Hey, Anita.
Hey,
Brewster.
Dan.
Good to
Bill
see you.
Mankin.
How do you do?
Walleye Dan.
Nice to meet you.
Yes.
This is your ranch. huh?
Yes, uh-huh.
What a beautiful place.
We're in Campbell County, Wyoming, which is about 15 miles south of Gillette, where the ranch is located. And it's just a beautiful combination of badlands and rolling hills and alfalfa fields, and
A lot of water, a lot of reservoirs for the wildlife, so it's a very nice piece of property. The main ranch is around 15,000 acres, and there's some other properties that Billy has hunting privileges to, and that he leases for farming and agricultural purposes. So the main attraction of the ranch here is pronghorn antelope, also a really good population of mule deer, also a growing population of elk. The attraction to come here with Billy and Cindy is it's a working cattle ranch, and they just accept you into their everyday ranching lives. So you're here not like a hunter, but as a family guest.
After meeting the Mankin Ranch crew and spending a little time in the saddle myself, we had just enough time to unpack the bows and make sure everything was in prime working order. Because despite the obvious abundance of animals, the word is, it won't be automatic.
You know, this is the main subject right here, is this green grass behind me, you know, which bottom line is there's been a lot of moisture here, which spreads the animals out, and there's more rain in the forecast, so that could be pretty interesting to see how the hunt unfolds when these animals aren't consistently coming into the watering holes.
Like any hunt, there are always questions and a whole bunch of anticipation. Will the weather hold out? Will the antelope cooperate? There's no way to know for sure, but we're gonna find out when We Love It Outdoors returns. The We Love It Outdoors team is on the Mankin Ranch near Gillette, Wyoming, and it's opening morning of the archery antelope season.
It's just an exciting morning after all the talk for weeks here about these pronghorn, and seeing them yesterday. It's game time, so we're gonna go get them now.
Despite an abundance of rain in this area, we're gonna stick to the tried and true method of sitting in ground blinds over water. The blinds were set up prior to our arrival, so the antelope have become accustomed to them. As creatures of habit, our hope is, despite the wet conditions, the antelope will continue to use these stock ponds for water. We just have to sit, be ready, and wait for the bucks to come to us. And when they do, make a good, solid shot.
Well, we'll look at the anatomy of a pronghorn antelope. They kind of designed a target for you. You look at this line of separation from the light color to the dark color, and also the shoulder. You look at where the elbow is here, and the separation line, you aim right above the elbow.
Okay.
So this will get you in the lungs in this area right here. The heart will be right in this area right here, but we aim for the lungs. So you're looking at right in that area right here. So, quick reference, the lateral line right here.
Okay.
The horizontal line here, the vertical line of the shoulder, right in behind there, you're good to go. That'll
Perfect.
get you a double lung shot and quick recovery, and you'll have your antelope.
With Bruce's advice in mind, we were set up and ready.
It really is deceiving out here, as open as this country is. I mean, a rangefinder, I mean, these things don't lie. But, you know, you pick out something and you're thinking, it's 30 yards. Turns out it's 45 yards. So, very critical tool right here.
And it took almost no time for the animals to start showing up.
Wonder if those were those three that were bedded down. See, that one's nice. And one on the left, I think. That one on the far left is a nice one. He's wider. Yeah, he's wider. Crap. They might circle around.
I'm not the only hunter on stand this morning. Anita Williams is also monitoring a well-used watering hole, and there seems to be no shortage of thirsty pronghorns. Anita is surrounded by bucks and just waiting for the perfect opportunity. The kind of opportunity that might have just shown up near my blind.
Right now, I don't want to take my eyes off of this animal. I got a big one coming in. It appears to be big. I don't want to take my eyes off of this pronghorn right now because I think it's a serious shooter, and he's working his way in here right now. But I saw him right away this morning, way across, another valley, a long ways away, but he looked like he was on a line. And then, some time passed, and we had those three come up behind us that were decent. But this one stands out to be bigger body. Here he's circling back. He's circling back. He's coming at us. Look at him. I am so thankful, and it's like, that's my first ever pronghorn. Yes. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Hudala. And thank you, Lord.
Well, here's what I've been waiting for. My text just came in that Dan, first time hunting antelope, has arrowed an antelope buck. So this is what's really exciting. I've been fortunate enough to do this for a lot of years at the ranch, and what's more exciting is one of your fellow hunters, especially a new hunter, first time in antelope blind, opening morning of the archery season, bing, we get a text coming in, we got an antelope shot. So we're on our way to recover it. I can't wait to see how excited Dan's gonna be. I hope he's more excited than I am, and that'd take a lot.
Score. I got one.
Score. There he is, right there.
Right there. Look at that, huh?
Beautiful buck, huh?
Yes, how about that, huh?
First antelope.
First antelope.
First
on
day.
The board.
First
day.
hunt. Opening morning.
Oh, man.
Nice antelope, Dan.
Thank you, Bill, very, very much.
Nice hit, too.
Yeah, he didn't go far, that's for sure. So
Really. Yeah, I see the big prong on him.
Yep.
That's a real pretty head. That's an older antelope. See, look at the big prong on him.
My first ever archery antelope hunt was short and very, very sweet. But because of the hot weather, the celebration is a quick one. We need to get this buck back to the ranch as soon as we can, get the hide off, and get the meat on ice so nothing gets spoiled.
Basically just gonna hang it here and butcher it hanging rather than quartering it. We got the time, so just gonna get all the sinew off it as it's hanging and then break it down into the different muscle groups. I actually really like antelope. It's got a little bit richer, almost sage flavor to it. That has a lot to do with what they're eating. They eat a lot of sage out there. It all goes about what time of the year when they're rutting and chasing does hard. Their meat's not going to be quite as good as this time of year if you get it cooled down fast enough.
With my antelope buck on ice, I've got the afternoon to explore. So I'm going to join our host Bill to get a taste of what Wyoming ranch life is really about.
There's more mineral in this county than any place in the nation or anywhere. We got coal, methane gas, oil, it's all booming right now. So it's like real busy here. Well, we just gathered our summer pasture and we're going into our winter country right now, and we're going to cross it and go up to where we put them in the fall. And they'll be there until October, and then we'll ship our calves, and then they'll be kicked into the winter country.
As the herd moves over a distant ridge, we head back to the ranch, where a near perfect day on the Wyoming prairie comes to a close with what I call antelope backstrap a la Bruce.
I get to eat the first piece. Delicious.
When We Love It Outdoors returns, Anita returns to the blind to try and close the deal on a Wyoming antelope buck. On the open grassland of eastern Wyoming, the We Love It Outdoors team and bear archery pro staffer Anita Williams are back in the blind and surrounded by antelope.
We have a really nice setup here. This is the watering tank, and it's the only water for several miles around here. And we can see pretty good through these ridges. And I think this will be a really nice setup. All these antelope in the area are going to come here to water today, so I think it's a matter of time. But I really like the looks of that. The first antelope pronghorn that just popped over the ridge got me excited right away.
Antelope is known for their speed, but their greatest defense mechanism is their eyesight. Basically, they have a pair of binoculars for eyes. You know, you hear anywhere from 8 to 12 power. Depending on the weather conditions and the heat conditions, but that's very impressive. So they're very cautious when they come to water. They'll sit off at a distance and make sure they're safe before they come in and commit to the water. So they're a very, very unique animal. They're beautiful, they're good eating, they're a lot of fun to hunt, and we're hunting on August 15th for the opener. Not a lot of other seasons are open at that time.
All these things happened so quick, I didn't even really get a chance to hardly even see the buck. It rounded the corner of that blind and I had to just be pulled back. I held my bow for a long time. That buck stepped into view for me and I just let that arrow fly.
How many yards? Yes, I got him good. I think I got a really good shot on him. The buck was right behind us, so we watched him. We probably had 60 does and fawns come in. Got a really good opportunity on the buck. He's going down. Finally on day 3.
It did get complete pass-through. It got complete pass-through. That is my first animal to get a complete pass-through. And this bear rumor just delivered. Look at that nice bloody thing. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's down. Look at that. Oh boy. That ultimate steel did the job. Look at that. That is just beautiful.
Every day in the great outdoors, no matter what we're doing or how well it's going, we love it. But once in a while, all the elements come together and the result is even better than anyone could have expected. So it was for Anita Williams and me here in Wyoming on the Bill Mankin Ranch. And the best part is, our Wyoming antelope adventure is not over. We've got a Canadian invasion on the way, as the boys from Excalibur Crossbows in Ontario will be here to put the latest in crossbow technology to the test on the antelope bucks of eastern Wyoming. It's sure to be another week of close encounters of the pronghorn kind, and we love it. Continue this adventure by visiting your local Mills Fleet Farm store or shop online at fleetfarm.com for all your sporting good needs and more. fleetfarm.com.